Hey there, I'm so excited for you to be here today. This is the first workshop of my Leveraging LinkedIn workshops. I have several of them, but today we're starting with the foundations and we're laying down I guess we're going to do like the groundwork to get you started on LinkedIn and to have an amazing presence so that you can look like the expert that you are. I'm so excited to help you not just level up in your career, but find new clients and to grow using an amazing platform. I love LinkedIn, and so I'm excited. If you can't tell that I'm excited, I am. And that's because I love LinkedIn. So let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so today's goal is going to be for us to get you to showcase yourself as the expert that you are. We're going to complete a magnetic LinkedIn profile for you. Yes, we want you to be a magnet online, specifically on LinkedIn. We are also going to use your LinkedIn profile as a sales funnel. So I'm going to show you how to make your LinkedIn profile a sales funnel. We're also going to make sure that you master your profile page and you know all the benefits, the bells, the whistles, everything that is available to you on LinkedIn. A lot of people don't know about all of the cool things that they have available for you. And so I am going to show you all that today, and you're going to walk away a LinkedIn profile ninja. You're going to be an expert. Before we get started, I wanted to give you some quick tips for a successful workshop. First of all, take lots of notes. Also, complete the sections of your profile as you go along. Pause the video, fill out the section that I'm on, and then move on to the next one. This is also going to help you jot down any questions that you might have for me. You can send me your questions as long as you've purchased this workshop. I will answer the questions pertaining to the workshop itself. So if you get stuck, feel free to send me a message and I will be happy to answer those questions. Also, there are going to be some PDFs attached to each workshop within the course portal, and there you'll have some checklists as well as some Q&A. So before you feel like you're completely stuck, go into that section and take a look at what we have for you. All right, let's dive in. So, just some fun facts about me in case this is your first time taking a workshop from me or a course or class from me. My name is Claudia Garcia. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California. I now live in Austin, Texas. My values are really formed around faith and my faith in God, of course. I have a large family, Hispanic family, and my business is like my other child, my my other baby. And I do have three grown sons and a little girl that came 18 years after our last son. And I've been a serial entrepreneur as well as my husband. We've been serial entrepreneurs for a long time. And 20 years in healthcare specifically, almost 20 years, I would say. Not quite 20 years, but almost 20 years in the healthcare space, having a service based business. And well, welcome. And so I can't wait to get to know you as well. So, what qualifies me to teach you today? Well, besides the fact that I am obsessed with LinkedIn and live on LinkedIn, I have actually landed seven figures in corporate contracts from relationships on LinkedIn for my clients. I've also generated six figures for myself through corporate contracts on LinkedIn. And 90% of my executive search success has come from LinkedIn. So I do own a staffing and search business. And it was about 5 years ago that I decided to make LinkedIn my main tool. I actually didn't start posting on LinkedIn until about, I guess, a year ago. Last year is when I started posting on LinkedIn. Before that, all of it was sales and engagement on the back end. So you didn't really see me, but you were talking to me. And so those are all secrets I'm going to teach you guys in the lead gen workshop. So if you haven't bought that workshop yet, make sure to grab it. I'm also an avid student of LinkedIn, and I love sharing what works with my community and my network. As I mentioned to you that I made LinkedIn my main tool about 5 years ago, these are the reasons why I've kept it as my main tool. First of all, LinkedIn has over 1 billion members, and the United States actually has the largest number of users. HubSpot found that LinkedIn is 277% more effective at generating leads than Facebook and Twitter. The daily activity on that platform, with more than 9,000 people applying for jobs on LinkedIn, and that is one of the reasons why I've done so well in the recruitment and staffing space on LinkedIn. But it's not just about jobs on LinkedIn. It was a platform that was heavily used only for finding work, and it's it's grown and exploded since then. So the little icon that I have is just perfect because every day there are about 13,000 connections being made every minute in the day. That's wild and crazy. Also, the income for buying and purchasing on LinkedIn is just higher than most other platforms. So we have professionals, we have leaders of corporations, and so they are purchasing on LinkedIn from other businesses, from folks like us, and their buying power is just larger than those found on other platforms. Now, before we start to go into the details of how to build out your LinkedIn profile, I think we really need to know why we're on LinkedIn. Why are you choosing to take this class today? I mean, what is it that you're trying to accomplish? And so I want you to ask yourself these questions. Am I looking for new clients? Am I looking to increase my leads? Do I want to make sales? Perhaps all three of those are a combination, right? Am I just looking for new opportunities to build my career? Perhaps I'm trying to brand myself as an expert for the current company that I work for. Perhaps I am a manager and I'm constantly needing to hire and attract folks to the business. And so I really need to be seen and become visible on LinkedIn. Is it for you to build an authority and be an authority for an audience for a specific industry? And are you looking to build a network? Are you looking to just grow followers? I know you're not doing that because followers, that's what we call a vanity metric. So followers don't always equal buyers, but I'm going to teach you how to get the best folks to follow you. So it won't matter if you have 1,000 followers or 10,000 followers because you're going to have the right ones. Perhaps you're even on LinkedIn to create a brand that attracts premium clients. And I just said that. So okay, you get the gist. So let's think about what your goal is and what's your main priority here? Like, why am I showing up? So you got to know why you're showing up. I love metrics and I love stats and I love having attainable goals. And so what I like to do is write down my LinkedIn goals. So I start from the end and work my way backwards. And if you're like me, then you know that this is the best route because you want to start with the end goal in mind so you know exactly what you have to do to get there. And so start with your 12-month goal. Is it to grow by 1,000 followers and 100 buyers? Is it to grow your brand and bring more traffic and awareness to your business, your organization, your association, to your nonprofit? What are those goals? Write them down. This way you can actually start to measure whether or not you're hitting your goals. This is really important. I always say that if you don't have a plan, or actually, I don't just say this, but I think this is a universal saying, but if you don't have a plan, you have a plan to fail. Or if you're not making a plan or you haven't made a plan, you're planning on failing. I usually don't get sayings right. My husband teases me because he says you're kind of close when you start saying those things, but yeah, you're not saying it right. So, but you guys get what I am trying to convey. So goals are important. Write them down and well, that way we can measure them. I'd love for you to go back in 6 months and then 6 months from now, be able to go back and look at, did I hit my mark? So this is a big question that people ask. What do I really need to make LinkedIn successful? But some of you have been trying. Some of you have been posting and get no likes, no views, no impressions. It feels like a desert for you on LinkedIn. Meanwhile, you're peeking on somebody else's profile and you see a ton of activity, a ton of, followers, a ton of everything, right? But it's for some reason not happening on your side of the platform. So I have some suggestions, but they are not requirements. I do use a premium account and a sales navigator account. I also highly recommend a CRM or some type of tracking tool. You could even use a Google Doc, but that seems very tedious to me. But there are ways to track your activity on LinkedIn. And so if you would like some suggestions on that, I will put out a little video on that next. I'll put it on my YouTube channel. I think I might already have one on there, but if not, I'm going to make one just for you guys so you'll know what tools I recommend outside of LinkedIn. But if inside of LinkedIn, definitely if you're serious about becoming visible and showing up as that expert on LinkedIn, you definitely need a premium account, and I highly suggest Sales Navigator if you are trying to get new business. Quick quiz. What makes your LinkedIn profile easy to find on an online search or in an online search? Is it a good picture, profile picture? Is it your title with maybe some key words? Is it your business name that helps you be found? Is it all the above? It's a title with key words and SEO. So, perfect example. If somebody is searching for a healthcare business development representative, if you have those keywords, business development representative, in your title, when they go to search for you, whether it's on LinkedIn or Google, because LinkedIn apparently is owned by Google, but they have made themselves found. When you're on LinkedIn, you are search engine optimized if you do it correctly. So having those keywords in your title is going to be so great for you. I want you to take a minute to go into Google and search for your name and see if LinkedIn comes up, if your LinkedIn profile comes up. I know that when I do it, mine comes up. It does come up after all the actresses. I do have a common Hispanic name, but if I put healthcare consultant, and like maybe Los Angeles or Austin, Texas, it will immediately populate. So you can have your keywords and you have a number of SEO words in your profile. So we're going to dive deep into that. But isn't that exciting? I mean, you just need a really great title and you're already on your way to being found and being seen. So let's begin with a profile pic audit. This is something that a lot of people are not aware of, and I wasn't aware of it either until I started to pay attention. So, there are some do's and don'ts with the profile pic. First of all, family photos are a no-no. Save your family photos for Facebook and your family Instagram. We all love our families, but this is not the platform for it, for those pictures. Also, a professional headshot is a must. No selfies. I know we can take some amazing selfies nowadays, but it is not recommended at all to take a selfie. Try and get yourself a professional headshot. Now, I have a professional headshot that was done of me about 10 years ago, which is the center picture. Then I have one that I created on the right with an AI filter. And then on the left was like my best one, I think, because it shows a little bit of head tilt, which gives a little bit of, they say, vulnerability. And people in their psychology with your poses and your mannerisms. That's not my forte, y'all. So, but anyhow, showing a little neck and a little tilt, it just shows that you're friendly, you're approachable. And so I followed the recommendations. I also used my phone, but the camera part of my phone on a tripod, put the timer on, took the background off on Canva and put different colors on the background. Right now, I think my background is pink, but it's been blue, it's been white, it's been black. I like to change it up once in a while, but right now I have it bright pink and then I have my profile picture. So avoid selfies, use a good tripod, use good lighting. I have a soft light in front of me when I do videos, when I do pictures. So use a soft light. If you don't have a good soft light, best pictures are taken with a window in front of you, not behind you. You actually want like your blinds shut, and then if you have windows behind you, shut all those blinds, shut the windows, and then you want the light in front of you. If you do have windows behind you, you'll be shadowed out. You won't look right. It'll be a glare. It's just a mess. So use your window and your light, your natural light in front of you. Next on our LinkedIn profile is going to be your banner. So the banner is pretty much your billboard. It is the thing that announces you and what you do. I pulled this specific one up because when I found her profile, her complete profile, and I'm going to show you more of it, I was like so happy because she does something so great. I felt like this is a person that I can network with and recommend to others. The name of her company is Healthy Workforce. And as you can see, her tagline is "Got Bullying, We Can Help. Contact us today." So she goes into businesses and she speaks, trains, and teaches on having an anti-bully workforce. Very simple. We know what she does just by looking at her banner. So the banner it's your best real estate. So make sure that it tells people what you do, who you serve. You can also use your banner to send out an announcement. Let's say you are launching a program or a workshop or a master class, and that week you really want to promote it. Put it on your banner. Most of the influencers will promote their product, whether it's a freebie or something to get you to click and engage with them, they'll put it on the banner. But again, it has to really tell us what you do, and who you serve, what your offer is. Here's another great banner example. Now, I'm not promoting these ladies. They have no idea that I'm even showing their banner as an example. It is public information, so it's okay that I'm showing it to you. But I do want to point out that these ladies have really nailed it. I love this particular banner because I had no questions after I read it. Okay, what does she do? She's a book editor. What else does she do? She publishes. Who is her ideal client? Business coaches, consultants, and authors. So this tells me if I land on her page and I am looking for a publisher or a book editor, I look at her page, I know that I need her or that I could use her, right? She also has in her title and we're going to go into title next, but if you notice her title, she's very clear in her title what she does. She's a ghostwriter, a book editor, and a publisher. Again, I love this. I'm not sure that I love her profile picture. She looks like she's laying down, but she's being artistic. She is artistic. I do like that we see her full face, and that's great. When crafting your headline, you almost want to use it as your pitch. You want to make sure you have those SEO and keywords because it does help again with the search. You want to include your unique value proposition, what makes you unique. So, helping healthcare organizations streamline operations for better outcomes. So, perhaps you want to say that you have a unique product there. Perhaps you're saying helping healthcare organizations streamline operations through the Claudia Garcia roadmap for better patient outcomes. I don't know if that's that's it, but I'm going to read to you guys my headline, which I rewrote so many times because sometimes I like to pretend I'm a perfectionist, which I'm not. But I wrote one out and it says, helping healthcare professionals build careers and businesses that leave a long lasting impact. So that's my top headline. So I help them. So the unique value proposition here is that when they work with me, when they get clients or when they join, have that new career going, these are all things that are going to help them leave a major impact on the world. So I'm kind of, emphasizing that. Like I'm helping you because you want to make an impact on the world. I'm going to help you do it. I also write private practice consulting and staffing. So I'm very specific with who I'm consulting and who I staff. Although I do executive search, I can't write it all down on my headline. So I really picked the three main things. The third thing that I wrote on here is LinkedIn workshops and cohort for healthcare leaders. So that's the offer. All right. Here is the formula that most influencers recommend. And if you ask ChatGPT to write this headline for you using this prompt, I think that you will get a pretty good headline. So you want to include the role and the skill, who you help, and then the key results. As I mentioned to you guys, I had that my key result my folks would make a lasting impact, right, in their career and by getting new clients. So this is that last piece that I was saying we really need to also include. So take this formula, put it inside of ChatGPT, and ask it to make you your headline. All right, so here is the professional that I had shown you earlier. Her banner was the Got Bullying banner. Her name is Renee Thompson. She is a DNP and RN, and she's a workplace workplace bullying expert. I love that. So her headline reads CEO and founder at Healthy Workforce Institute, equipping healthcare leaders with skills and tools they need to eradicate bullying and incivility in their organization. Free tools at healthyworkforceinstitute.com. This is a free promotion because I am not affiliated to her. She actually has no idea that I'm sharing this with you. But again, she just does such a great job at telling us exactly who she is, what she does, what her offer is, and what you're going to get from her. So I just love her headline. It's important to know that your headline will follow you all over LinkedIn. So every time you comment or you post, the headline will read. Now, this is an old picture because we did this workshop earlier last year, and so this is the same slide. So I have since fixed or actually updated my headline, but if you see the I help healthcare professionals, I have moved it closer to the front so that every time somebody sees my name, it says I help healthcare professionals, and then it reads what I do for them. So just something to be aware of is that your headline is following you everywhere you go. It is promoting you. So the more you comment, the more people see. It's just a great thing to have a very good headline. Next on your profile is going to be this link. You get to personalize a link on your page. If you go to the custom button, it's actually going to give you options. You can put your website, your store, a blog. If you have a newsletter you want people to subscribe to, I have chosen to post my workshop here, and I currently have a freebie on there right now. So if you go, you can click on it, and then it leads you either to the workshop or to the freebie. So this is really great real estate and people don't know about it. Again, you want to click on the add custom button. Next on your page, on your profile, is going to be the about section, which is this just as important as all the other sections. And again, it's all about using those keywords, taking what you've written from the top and letting it flow through your profile so there's no confusion. There should never be a disconnect. One of the things that I do for my clients is I do a profile audit. And oftentimes I'll see a disconnect. I'll see on the top that they are marketing, and then at the bottom it'll be, I'm a hairstylist. So there's just a disconnect about what they're doing and who they are. So that about section is going to be so important. A great area for you to put a little fun fact about you, maybe your origin story, but you want to highlight your unique value proposition. Perhaps this is something like reduced patient wait times by 30% in a busy clinic setting. And then always end with a call to action. You want to send them to the next phase or the next step. And so who you work with, what you do, again, your unique value proposition, and always end with a call to action. So whether it's, grab my freebie, as the last professional that I just showed you, Renee, she puts free resources at healthyworkforce.com. That's also something that you can write at the bottom of your about section. Really quick. So here's just a quick checklist. You can check each one down, make sure that you've included it in your about section. So start with that attention grabbing statement or question in the beginning. Then you want to highlight their pain points, which is your audience actual needs, the needs of your audience, the needs of your ideal clients. Then you want to add some social proof and results. If you have some, then you want to add that there you want to add it to your about section as well. And then you want to highlight what makes you unique. So after you've shown those things, What actually sets you apart from others? Make sure that that's included. And then that call to action that we talked about. If you don't have a freebie, don't worry. Just ask your audience or invite your audience to connect, to message you, or to learn more, or to follow along with your content. But really kind of do it in a way where you're having a conversation. When they're reading it, they think you're having a conversation with them. So they feel welcomed to your page. So there are benefits to having a clear LinkedIn profile, and this is one of them. Your ideal clients will find you through LinkedIn recommendations. Yes, LinkedIn will actually recommend you to the right folks if LinkedIn understands what you actually do. So that's why all of the things that we're going through are so important. You are going to see a featured section on many LinkedIn profiles, and sometimes you won't find it on yours unless you add it. So, a featured section is going to work like your sales funnel. You can add your freebie there, you can promote a YouTube channel, your newsletter, you can ask them to book a call, give them a complimentary consultation. You can practically close the client through your featured section if you do things right. So I'm going to show you what mine looks like. All right, so the featured section. This featured section, not everyone sees it because you may not have it. You might have to add it. In fact, when I do profile audits, we oftentimes have to add the featured section to our client's profile. Now, this is going to act as your sales funnel. You can put your freebie on there, your newsletter. If you have a YouTube channel, you want to promote that, a podcast, a book, whatever it is that you want to promote, that featured section is perfect for that. A lot of people will pin a post, but it seems like a little bit of a wasted space to just pin a post unless that post has a really strong call to action. Now, this is what my banner looked like for a while. My featured section included the workshop that I was promoting in November. And then I had my free LinkedIn profile checklist. And then my staffing solutions, I am always promoting as it's my core business. And so these are the three things that I promote. Also, just so you know, each box can include a link here. I don't actually add a description as it makes the person do a double click for some reason. If you add a description, then they have to click and then click again to get to your actual link. So if it also looks cleaner when you don't add a description. So just put the title, and your graphic should say what it is. All right, so many people don't know that LinkedIn actually allows you to have a whole section where people can request a proposal from you. Isn't that amazing? I personally do not use it because I have several services. But if you were only an email marketing expert and people are looking for email marketing and it's clear in your services, people can request a proposal from you for email marketing services. It is pretty cool. Again, this is a section that if you're not intentional about filling out, you may not even know it's there. All right, so does your experience match your company page? You probably have a company page if you have a business. And so you want to make sure that those two that they click, that they make sense, that they're, that it flows, right? Remember we talked about making sure that information flows from the top to the bottom and throughout your entire profile. We don't leave anyone confused. We definitely don't want to say healthcare consultant and then our business page is the car wash that we used to own 10 years ago, right? So we may have a lot of different types of businesses, but when it comes to doing your profile and when you're trying to reach a certain audience, we can't confuse the people or algorithms. things, right? The algorithm also needs to be able to understand what we do in order for the algorithm to send us the right folks and to get us in front of our ideal clients. So just make sure that when you complete your company page, that it does include what you do and what's on your personal page, right? So you want those services to match. It doesn't have to look exactly the same because you're showing up possibly as you know, as one piece of the company and not the total. You don't do everything there, right? But make sure that they do go together and that what you're saying that your company does is also found on that company page. There's also this section that helps you get found and makes you more visible to those that are looking for you. And that is going to be your endorsements. Make sure that you have some endorsements. If you don't, ask people to endorse you. I had no idea I had so many endorsements, but this just shows you how long I've been on LinkedIn. And so what I do is I actually clean up some of my endorsements because if I have maybe a service that I haven't done in many, many years, it's really not something that I'm promoting or want to showcase. I can get rid of that as well. Or I can get rid of that piece or that one skill. And then also there is this section where it says tell us where to put your skills. So you're going to put the business or the job in which you used those specific skills. Endorsements are also a great way to start a conversation with people and to get their attention. So if you want to endorse somebody that you believe in, and possibly that is an ideal client, or vice versa, if they've endorsed you, you definitely want to send them a thank you and start talking to them. Now, as we come to the bottom of our LinkedIn profile, I want to ask you this question. Which one of these profiles are you least likely to trust? I would say the one without a profile picture. If we can't see your face, we probably aren't going to trust you. So we don't know if you're, a fake profile, if we just don't know anything about you. And so having your picture there is a great way to start building that trust. Also, it makes you recognizable to those in your network that maybe have met you in the past at events or at different jobs through different organizations. If they see that face, they go, oh, I remember her. I met her at that networking event in Austin. I'm going to connect with her. All right. So this is your homework. I would love for you to give yourself a banner audit. Does it say what you do and who you serve? Also, check your profile picture. Is it a clear headshot? And also your headline is have the keywords that it needs to have. And then your description. Do you share a little story about yourself? Give your unique value and talk about them more than you talk about yourself, like in other words, what they need from you. And then does it have a clear call to action? What do you want them to do next? Download the freebie, connect with you, message you, and so on. Go into that featured section, go into that featured section and make sure that you put all of your favorite things that you're trying to promote on that featured section. And then clean up those endorsements. If you've been on LinkedIn for a long time, clean up the endorsements that no longer apply and ask people to endorse you. Also, recommendations are really big on LinkedIn. So if you have already done this service for other people, ask them to write a recommendation for you. You can actually go on the recommendations tab and send a recommendation request to those in your network. Thank you so much. That's a wrap for today's Profile to Profit, our very first session in the Leveraging LinkedIn workshops. I hope that you got a lot of golden nuggets from this workshop. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message. I am available and more than willing to help you. Just let me know that you purchased the workshop and that you've taken it and what's helped you, what hasn't helped you. Perhaps you need just a few things answered, questions answered, and I could lead you to either some free videos on my YouTube channel or send you resources or just help you right on the spot. I'm so happy to do so. As I mentioned, you will have the LinkedIn profile checklist attached in the course. It's also found on my homepage on LinkedIn. So make sure that you grab that. It will be very helpful. It does cover some of what we cover, but honestly, the workshop was more detailed. The LinkedIn profile checklist is a freebie that I offer my network. So it's going to keep you going. It's going to keep you on track, but it is not as extensive as our workshop and everything we learned in the workshop. So make sure you grab those notes in the attachment section here on the course platform. All right, so before we call it a final wrap, I wanted to mention that I do offer a LinkedIn profile audit. And so if you check your email, you're going to get a link to this offer. It's probably going to be worth the $250. And I actually spend probably a good amount of time with you. We do a 60-minute strategy call, a 15-minute follow-up. I spend probably about an hour on your profile, going through it, and then coming up with maybe another hour coming up with strategy. So I'm probably spending a good 3 to 4 hours on your audit and strategy. So after you've taken this workshop, if you've done all that you can do and you're still wondering if it's good enough or if you hit the mark, let me help you with a LinkedIn strategy. I want you to be successful. I don't want you to be lost. And so this is kind of a way for me to join you and partner up with you on the success of your LinkedIn profile. So if you're interested in that, you should have a link in your email after you purchase your workshops. If you can't find it, I tend to post these LinkedIn audits on my YouTube channel and on my LinkedIn, so you should be able to find it. If not, I'm just a DM away, y'all, on LinkedIn. Please DM me and ask me for the link to the LinkedIn profile audit. Before we do your audit, let's make sure that you've completed your profile. So we have something to audit and something to talk about and some strategy to go over. And so I wish you all the best. I think you guys are going to rock this. I think you have a good amount of information to get started, be successful, and yeah, I'm just totally excited for you. Thank you guys again for hanging out with me during this workshop, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.